Okay, it's been 4 months since you skipped her. Do you regret it now? This character by far has to be a character that was downplayed so tremendously as being considered a side grade to Kazuha. Oh, she's only going to be on Kazuha's team. She's always only going to be on Kazuha's team. And now that Mavuika is in the game, and Mavuika is, replacing Kazuha in a lot of teams because Xilonen is better than Kazuha. Just a slight little bit there. And also she regenerates Night Soul points, meaning Kazuha doesn't even do that for, Mavuika, which is a really big thing for Mavuika. You want those Night Soul points to go away quick, right? And then Xilonen just comes in there and gets rid of 90. So Mavuika being good on almost all the teams in the game. And then you also go ahead and you pair her with Xilonen. That's a pretty tough combo on a lot of teams. But really though, Mavuika basically replaces Kazuha in a lot of teams that I'm noticing. And who's not getting replaced? Xilonen. It's just not happening, and I don't know what that was. All right, cool. Whatever. But we see her on this team, of course. Yeah, this team. She was made for this team. Let's be real. She was literally made for this team. There's no way around it. However, let's go ahead and talk about someone who she's not made for, but she definitely works better than Kazuha before. So let's go ahead and look at this team with Arlecchino. Do you notice anything about this team? Okay, I want you to look at this team. Now use your brain for this one. You have Kazuha here. He's going to last 10 seconds. So if you use him at the start of the rotation, Arlecchino really isn't getting much damage, right? She's not really getting much damage throughout her entire duration, right? So let's go ahead and use him right before we get into Arlecchino. Uh-oh, there's no pyro. You've lost. You don't get the entire duration. And it's not like, oh, we'll just switch into Arlecchino for like a second and apply pyro. Not going to happen. That doesn't happen. You want to know something that's not happening? That. You're not applying enough pyro to be able to swirl pyro with Kazuha. Normally, you'd be able to use Kazuha at the end of this duration if you had Bennett. Now, why wouldn't I run Bennett with Arlecchino? That's such a massive upgrade. Well, you might have Mavuika on the other half, who is using Bennett. Now, that's an issue, because now you're stuck with this team. You want to know who works great on this team? Xilonen. Now, I just made the argument that Bennett's on the other team. Wouldn't Xilonen be on the other team? Depends, Mavuika plus Bennett is a lot stronger than, if you have Xilonen, you'll be fine to use someone else other than Xilonen, maybe like Kachina or something, right? Just get the 40% damage bonus, no res shred, but you'll be fine. So there's a substitute for Xilonen, sort of, in that team. So let's go ahead and let's see how this team works because, oh, look at that beautiful 20-second duration. Oh, and we're just going to decrease the res for everybody on the team. Oh, it's so great. So great. Oh, yep. Okay, and then we can just go ahead and we can do this. So 280,000. Oh yeah, 280,000 Arlecchino. Yeah, 190. We're really struggling on the crits. Now, as you can see here, same exact thing happened, but I mean that's unavoidable at that point. You better hope that you're killing the enemy, otherwise you're cooked. All right, well we're gonna end that there because the Capybara is gonna one-shot whoever he targets there. So yeah, at least we got one rotation of Xilonen buffing. And to be fair, we could have gotten 2 rotations had we used Xilonen or gotten rid of Fiorina, but I used double Hydro on this team. It's not really that crazy, but it's something. it's something. Just saying. So Xilonen works phenomenally better on this team, right? Because Kazuha's never getting a full rotation, right? Xilonen was buffing that entire Arlecchino rotation. However, Fiorina gets in the way on the second rotation. And, Kazuha, he only lasted 10 seconds on the, first rotation. So we can't really trust what he's going to do with the second rotation. So, okay, let's test out Nevi here. And, yeah, it's going to, it's going to be a nice little buff for Mavuika because Xilonen, she decreases res for both types of elements on the team, right? Or 3 types of elements on the team, right? Would be possible. Imagine if you had that, But let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's gather up all of our stuff. Okay, so we're gonna get the damage bonus for Hydro, but we're only gonna get that and 700,000 damage, 36% res decrease, pretty nice. And yeah, overall not bad. And then obviously, Xilonen's res is still happening, C2 Mavuika, but hey, 100,000 on her normal or on her E skill hit there. Just a tad, Xilonen's buffing, and I mean it's not like Kazuha would never, right? Kazuha would never even let Mavuika burst, right? It's simple as that. Now, what's some other teams that, may, want Xilonen? What are some other teams? Yeah, Itto. You see, the thing is, because Itto is so weak, buffing him doesn't really do a lot. But I mean, hey, we do have 3 elements here. We do have, you know, she is going to react with 2 elements and buff both of them at the same time, right? So we can do basically the same thing we just did with Nevi, but hey, with Ito, let's go ahead and do it. Why not? All right, look at the Mavwika bar. Yep, I'm going to even do this because I still need other stuff, and then 800,000 on that, and then we can go ahead and we can just do damage with Ito here. You know, obviously, we're not necessarily looking at damage in this video. I mean, you can look at the damage if you want, but, you know, it's very Constellation and, you know, heavy and stuff. So it's not really that dependable and, like, reliable and stuff, right? So not really that great. Now, let's go over with another character. Who do you guys think may want Xilonen now because of, you know, Mavwika's release or just in general, right? Who do you think would want that? The unreleased character himself, Wriothesley. Yeah, this guy. It's an alright team, you know. A team that Kazuha would not be able to buff the entire time on because, well, we would need to use Kazuha at the beginning of the rotation here. Yeah, that just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Let's go ahead. E skill, Q skill, E skill, Q skill. Boom. And 390,000 on a non-attack percent, or, yeah, on an EM stance. Well, okay, well. Don't worry, you guys saw it, right? Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Yeah, Wriothesley, go. Yeah, go, buddy. You got all those massive buffs from Xilonen. Yeah. So, there you go. Wriothesley may have died, but you saw we needed Xilonen at the beginning there because otherwise we're just going to apply Pyro the entire time, and that's just not going to be good for Wriothesley because he's going to run out of his duration, or he's going to be on field for, you know, longer than 10 seconds or ish. It's actually 10 seconds at C0, but you go to 14 seconds without, you know, C0 and stuff. You know, with C1, you know, you get to 14 seconds, you get the extra damage and stuff. Wriothesley, a character that you weirdly, just so weirdly would want to swirl at the beginning of for, you know, I'm gonna be honest, Mavwika's release really kind of pushed out Kazuha on a lot of teams, you know, like beforehand, you still had like a case, you know, well, maybe you can, you know, you could use Kazuha right here and, you know, swirl with Pyro. It's not like, you know, Mavwika's doing like, you know, 500,000 damage, you know, that you're missing completely because Wriothesley getting buffed that much isn't really going to do much. So you adding 2 supports like that, not really that much, but adding Mavwika, you know, that'll do a lot. Now, a lot of this has been, you know, oh, Kazuha this, Kazuha that. What if we don't do Kazuha anything and we just go ahead and we do hypercarry Raiden, right? So hypercarry Raiden goes a little bit like this, right? This is what she used to look like with hypercarry. Now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to use it. We're going to do things. And, you know, it's not going to look good because my Raiden build is kind of scuffed. It went downhill at some point, I remember. I don't know, but it just went downhill at some point, and it never really fully returned to what it once was. And we're going to have a healing. She's going to heal, right? She's going to heal you beyond the 70% that Bennett gives you. And then we have that. And then we can have this. Is that even going to hit? It hit, but it did 150,000 because it didn't crit. Oh, no. And now we're out of Bennett's ring. Huh. So sad. And then we're not critting like half the time here. Yep. Thanks, Raiden. All right. Well, okay. You saw. We went out of Bennett's ring. What is that, man? What? Why you got to do that? Why? All right. Well, what if we just... Oh, Kujasara doesn't have a weapon. All right. Well, that doesn't matter, I guess, because we're not looking at damage here, like I said. Let's go ahead and let's use a double. Well, I guess we are kind of looking at damage specifically for this one. A little scuffed. Oh, don't worry about it, chat. Oh, no. Oh, wait. I forgot to use my burst. Well, that one. All right. Well, we're fine. We're maxed out. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then, yeah, we get, like, you know, nearly the same damage, and, you know, no circle impact needed because we have Xilonen here, and she's helping us out, right? You know, really, really nice. Definitely cash money. Certainly great. Yeah, that one, little bit. Yeah. You know, we've had some iffy runs this video. I'm pretty sure the Hu Tao mains would be furious at me if I skipped Hu Tao in this video because Xilonen actually benefits Hu Tao quite a bit. Like, it's not a joke. Like, she legitimately, it's a decent benefit. So we're going to go ahead and we're have this as a rotation. If you don't realize what I do with my teams, by the way, I put the starter at like the 4 slot and then we just go through the slots. That's how I like order my teams. So whenever you're looking at one of my teams and you're like, oh, why is it like that? That's why. Because I typically like to, you know, oh, we're going to start the rotation. There you go. Fiorina right there, baby. Right? Let's go. E-skill with you. And then, yeah, Yelan will do her thing. And then we got Hu Tao. And Hu Tao's getting the res reduction. The two characters who are also literally, I'm going to be honest, Hu Tao doesn't do much damage, right? She's doing 130,000, right? It's not bad, right? But she's not doing, you know, what she used to do where she was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to one-shot the game or something. You know, not one-shot, but like she was a really strong DPS for her time. Nowadays, the sub DPS options are kind of like combined together. They do as much damage as Hu Tao. So giving them the damage bonus isn't even like a bad, like, oh, Xilonen couldn't get the damage bonus. No, that's literally just, it is legitimately just like there. And it's like decently good. As like an actual option, Xilonen like buffing the two Hydra characters isn't even like bad. It might be optimal, some would say. I don't necessarily know how good. Like, I guess it depends how good your like Hu Tao build and Yelan and Fiorina builds are. But if you have really like decent like Yelan and Fiorina builds, it might be just optimal to use the buff, like the damage bonus buff on the Hydra characters. It might legitimately be that way because, you know, Hu Tao, you know, combined, like those two Hydra characters do more or equal to, I think. But Hu Tao herself, you know, she doesn't really need the damage bonus anymore. So it doesn't even hurt as bad. And even if she did want the damage bonus, let's go ahead and do another run. Even if she did want the damage bonus, let's say you just finish off, like, or you start the, you know, rotation with Hu Tao's Q. You can just go ahead and do that. Look at that. Boom. And then you have this. Oh, now we have the entire duration ready. Oh, that's so nice. It's so nice to have the entire duration ready. Oh, now she's hitting 130 at the start. Yeah, see, the damage bonus really doesn't matter. I mean, we're hitting almost 140,000 now. The damage bonus from Fiorina is coming up. Yeah, 140 there. You know, like, it does matter, right? We did see, you know, damage, extra damage, right? But we were able to do that. Guess what happens if you use Kazuha in that scenario, right? Guess what happens? You get like 3 seconds of buff because you had to swirl, or not swirl. Well, I keep saying swirl. There's literally no correlation to swirling and doing your rotation. I was going to say use the burst and use the E skills, right? You had to do all that with Yelan and Fiorina just to get to Hu Tao. And by that point, Kazuha's buff is gone. Like, I'm sorry, but like Xilonen is not a side grade to Kazuha. Like, a lot of people, you know, it was a little debatable. But now that we've had 4 months with this character, she is absolutely just an upgrade. I don't care that she's like, oh, she's got 4% less, you know, res reduction. When realistically, sometimes it's 2%. 2%, right? It really doesn't matter. 99% of the time, when I put this character on the team, right? When I put this character on a team, it doesn't matter that I have her C2. Her C2 does not come into a factor when I'm putting the character on the team. It comes into a factor when I know that, oh, she's going to be able to just be used on this team super easily, right? It is so easy to just, oh, they have an element applied to them, E skill, done, 20-second duration. That's all she does. She is consistently the character you start your like rotation with because she has that 20-second duration, right? For all of her buffs. I think Xilonen is legitimately like an underrated character, I feel like, because a lot of people, for when she came out, were like, when I was glazing her, right? You know, I feel like a lot of people don't realize when she came out, I was like, oh my god, insane. And she is still insane. I just, she's better than Kazuha. 4 months after she's come out, absolutely. It's been something that, you know, previously it was like, oh, well, maybe, yeah, she's a side grade. You know, I kind of agreed with people, you know, like, oh, yeah, sure, side grade, but you still use them on the same team a lot of the times. Now it's not the case. Kazuha got kicked off the team because for reasons. He's 10-second duration. It matters. So Xilonen absolutely, I feel like, is an upgrade. I think she is the, second best support. I was about to say Mavwika. I don't think C0 Mavwika without C2, I don't think it's the second best support. I think she might go above Kazuha. Hear me out. Mavwika might go above Kazuha. It depends. I don't know. Because like I said, he's been kicked out on a lot of teams for Mavwika. Because Mavwika's off-field damage, you know, her application, her other stuff. Like, she has tools that keep her above Kazuha or, you know, replacing her on Kazuha. So she might just be better than Kazuha, I would say. Maybe. I haven't like really thought about it that much. This is just something that I've literally, first time it's crossed my mind is just recording this video right now, right here. The first time it's crossed my mind. I think I might give it to Mavwika. I might. Is she better than Kazuha? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. How do you feel about that? But overall, yeah. Xilonen, absolutely an upgraded Kazuha, not a side grade. I don't think that there's any merit to that at this point. I just, there's too many teams now where Xilonen is like by far the better option, right? Because like I said, on this team, you want to use Kazuha, you're getting like 3 seconds of buff. You want to use Xilonen, you're getting that buff, baby. You're getting it. She's guaranteeing you, yeah, you're going to be buffed. Don't worry about it. Just a little cursory look over what other teams I may want to look into. Chloride is a little weird because, you know, you can run like a double Geo, double Electro or something, or I don't know what the team is. There is a way you can run Chloride, but it's not really like you get any benefit over like Kazuha or anything on this, because like you could easily just, you know, start with, you know, like you don't really like have an issue of like having Electro because you have Fischl on this team, right? So Fischl is generally going to be on the team. So if you're running double Geo, right, you can easily just replace, you know, the Geo character with an Animo, right? You could literally use Kazuha, Xilonen, and Fischl, right? That works, right? It does, right? So it's up to you guys. I think I've gone over a lot of scenarios where Xilonen is just properly better than Kazuha, and I think that's overall the feeling I get when I use Xilonen. Wow, I have a lot of 5 stars now. It doesn't even show up entirely on the screen. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. If you really enjoyed, feel free to become a member. It's $5 a month. You get access to videos 8 hours early. And then also there's a couple members exclusive videos that I'm working on, or actually that are out. And then I'm also working on a 2-hour blooper reel for the Mavika stuff. Eventually that'll come out. I don't know when, but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Bye.